Hi guys, welcome back. It's Saturday morning, day 9. So this morning we're going to plant our pea and sunflower that we soaked for 12 hours last night. And then I'll give you guys an update on the grow room. All the crops are looking really great, so I'll probably have to fire up our walk-in cooler that we have just to slow them down so they're kind of ready and good to go for a Monday harvest. But I'll show you guys that in a bit. So here's our pea and our sunflower. So they've actually been soaking for a little longer than 12 hours. Mom had a rough night with our little baby boy, so let her sleep in for a bit, but that shouldn't be too big of an issue. The only problem you have if you soak them for 14, 16 minutes, I find the seeds get like really soft, and then when you're germinating them, they just kind of turn to mush and you get mold issues. So I don't think we'll have any of that at this point, but I guess we'll see what happens. If it does happen, it'll be good to show you guys why you only want to soak for 10 to 12 hours. So if you're new to this series, this is getting a lot more attention lately. We got this microgreen schedule. I'll have a link in the description below. You can download it. It's what I've been following throughout this whole series, just showing you guys from day 1 every day to day 14 how we run our microgreen operation, and try to show you guys how you can grow your own microgreens. So what I'll do now is I'll rinse the pea and sunflower, clean off kind of the soak film that's on them, and then we'll head into the grow room and we'll plant them, and then we'll give you an update on the crops. So this was the sunflower. You can see it's like a iced tea color in there. So I'll just dump that out. Just give the bucket a quick rinse. And then I'll rinse the seeds here. So that should be good there. Now what I like to do is I just hang them up over here, just on these, our cabinet handles. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Tighten this up a bit. So what I was saying was these little handles, just wrap the rope around it, and then it just kind of hangs in this bucket, and any water falls off. It won't be such a big deal with, one tray of seed, but if you have like 9 trays of seed in there, there's actually quite a bit of water that sits on the seed. So if you're scooping them out, and then at the bottom, you're just getting kind of a ton of water in your scoop with your seeds in that, so just on the tray. I just found once we got up to like doing 9 trays or 12 trays of sunflower at the bottom of the bucket, there's quite a bit of water, and that would kind of end up on our trays. So we'd order pre-water our tray, and we'd have all this extra water we had to deal with. So just a little step we do. There won't be much water in it with only 1 tray of sunflower seed or pea seed. So here's our peas. Show you guys what this looks like. So kind of see, you can imagine that same kind of film sitting on the pea seed. So I'll just give the bucket a quick rinse. So what I like to do now is kind of move the seeds around, make sure they're, agitated, making good contact with the water. and then I'll just dump this bucket out. You can see the peas are just hanging there. So what I'll do now is I'll let those kind of hang for a minute or two, and I'll just empty out these mesh bags into our bucket, and then I'll meet you guys into the grow room and I'll show you planting the 1 tray of pea and 1 tray of sunflower. I'm excited to see how this turns out. I've always done it in increments of 3, so like 3 trays, 6 trays, 9 trays. I've never actually just planted 1 tray with weights on top, so it'll be an exciting little experiment, I guess, see what happens. So we'll see you guys in the grow room. Hey guys, welcome to the grow room. Got everything set up. If you guys haven't already, I recommend you download these grow guides. So there's for the peas, our sunflower, radish, and then there's the broccoli. So all the crops are growing in this series. Kind of everything I've learned in the last year and a half of growing microgreens, I just put on these sheets, and it's the exact same system we follow while we're growing these in this series. So you won't have to refer back to these videos. You can just kind of have the sheets in your grow room and help you reference them. I'm sure it'll be really helpful. So what I'll do now, tripod's pretty tall. We got our sifted soil bin there. So I'll put 3 liters of soil in these 10-20 trays. So we got this 10-20 tray with holes. They're shallow. They're only the 1.5 inch, and then a 10-20 tray of no holes, which sits on top like that. So dump our soil in there, and we just use a 3-liter beaker. All the equipment we use, I'll just have a link in the description below so you guys can easily find it. But that way I know, if this is full, it's 3 liters. Makes it super quick. Just 1 scoop and you're done. Then I just move it around with my hands, just trying to get it as level as I can. You're not going to be able to get it perfect. That's why we use the soil press to press it down. Once you got it kind of flattened out, then you just take your soil press, press it down, and it makes a nice flat bed. And we just take our water, sure there'll be a little bit of a hole there. Should be all right. Once you got it watered, you just dump your seed out. So here's the, probably shouldn't have these trays touching. So this is our pea seeds, 300 grams of seed. You see, bucket's empty. That's what we do for the peas, and then sunflower. And then there's quite a bit left in there, so I just gotta scoop it out. So our sunflower seeds, 170 grams per tray, and then our pea seeds, 300. You'll have to kind of play around with that for, your pea seed. Kind of see just keep the record of your densities that you plant, and then your yields and everything, and kind of find what works best for you. So I'll set this camera up for you guys. You can see a different angle if you've watched the previous videos. It's all kind of been the same action shots. So I'll do my best to try to change it up, I guess, for you guys. So you want to make sure you've washed your hands and everything if you're not wearing, nitrile gloves or anything like that. You'd hate to go through all the work sanitizing your seed and then have something on your hands to cause mold issues. So what I'm trying to do here is any kind of spots, you just want them evenly spread out on the tray, and you don't want big clumps of pea seed like all on top of each other, because if they're not touching the soil, they're going to have a hard time to germinate. That's kind of what I'm looking for, just where there's, you know, a whole bunch of seeds sitting on top of each other, trying to move them around to make sure they're touching the soil. And taking your time on this step will definitely improve your germination rate. We could probably even drop our seeding density down to like 290, I bet, and we'd still be fine. So there's the peas, and now I'll do the sunflower. So there you have it. There's the sunflower tray. You can see it's not perfect by any means. And here's the pea one. Take some more time and kind of move these around. But since we're filming, I'll just leave it like that. It'll definitely be good enough for now. So then what we do is we just put a standard 10-20 tray with no holes on top. It's kind of like for the germination blackout period. These 5-pound bricks. I use 3 of them, so it'd be 15 pounds on here. And then I'll just put them on the rocks below. So that'll I'll clean this up, put these on the rocks down below there, right there. I guess you guys can see it. And then we'll do a grow room update and water all our crops. So I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Hi guys, so I got that all cleaned up now. I'll give you a quick update of the grow room. So you can see the high on the humidity was 51, the low was 38, and now it's 47. I imagine that'll increase as we continue to water and everything. And the high for the temperature was 81. And the low was 68, and right now it's 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Still having issues with our heater. Kicks off in the night, but really not too worried about it. It's not really affecting anything too much right now. Once we get into like our actual growing season, I'll really get that figured out. But here's the peas. We'll top water those. They're looking really good. Here's the sunflowers. Really happy with how these are looking. A lot of the hulls are shedding off. Down below here we've got our radish, 3 trays of radish. So you can see how they're falling over here again. You know, this is getting too dry. So I probably should be coming back at night and just giving them a quick water. This is just kind of watering every 24 hours. So if your crops are falling over, it's probably because you're underwatering them. It's usually the most common case. And here's our broccoli. So super happy with how it's looking. So I'll give them, show you guys how we water all these crops, and then we'll show you guys the crops that are germinating, what they look like after. So I'll get this set up, and then I'll show you guys when we're watering. So here's our 3 trays of peas laid out. We top water our peas. That should be good. And then I'll put these back up on the rack. And our lights, they're on 16 hours, 8 hours off. I get asked that question a lot, so try to mention that in every video. And then here's our sunflower. So one thing with the sunflower you guys could do, see if I'm getting good light here, I might have to, looks kind of dark. So with the sunflower, you can take it and kind of hold the tray like this, and then if you just rub your hands over it, you know, it'll knock a lot of these hulls off. You don't want to be super rough of it because then you'll damage your crop. But if every time before you water, you just go like that, it'll knock a lot of your hulls off. So just from that one tray, you can see how many seeds are on the ground there. So quite a few. Makes a big difference, especially if you're doing that for, you know, every day, for 2 or 3 days. So what I'll probably do now is just something I like to do, is I'll see if I can show you guys, is I'll water these, and then I won't put them back under the lights. Like where it would be, here's a good example. So I'll just actually pull this one out. So if you guys can see this one, right in the center there, you know, they have these little kind of, I believe they're called true leaves that are coming out. And if they stay under the lights, then these 2 little leaves in here get bigger and bigger. Like there's the 2 right here, and then you got these 2 in the middle there, and those will get bigger. So, see a lot of people in like Facebook groups and that, they're talking about how great their yields are. I don't remember what numbers they say and stuff like that, but then you look at their sunflower crop, and they basically grew their sunflowers to kind of like 4 leaves. So yeah, your yields would be a lot better, but I find as soon as those leaves, that like your true leaves start coming out, your sunflower crop kind of gets more bitter. So that's why, you know, I just kind of watch for it, like when it starts to happen, and then I'll water them, and then I'll just put them on a rack so they continue to grow, but with no lights. So it kind of slows down the true leaf period where those leaves start to grow. So kind of lets our crop continue to grow taller and get better yields, but we're not finding, at least I'm finding, we're not getting as many true leaves, so they don't get as bitter or anything like that. So still tastes great. So what I'll do now is these other 2 trays, you can hear like how many trays or how many seeds are, you know, falling on the ground. Probably should be doing this over like a garbage can or something, just making more work for myself, sweeping all these up, but it'll be good to show you guys all these little tips and tricks. So if you're having trouble with your seed hull staying on your sunflower, you know, just mist them frequently, or I would probably recommend mist, like water them, but then mist them, because that'll really, if they're wet, the seed hulls have a lot easier time coming off. So you can see like there's just a ton of them on the ground right now. So I'll water these, and then I'll go get a broom and clean that up. So we top water them. What else is something I can show you with the sunflowers? I'll see where I can find a it's taking me a little while to find a good one for you guys, but this one I might be able to. So if you can see, there's that like a red color there. So one thing you can do, kind of makes your sunflowers have a nuttier flavor, is if you like unstack them and you don't water them for the first, I don't know, 12 hours or so, they'll be like laying flat on the tray, and all the stems will turn red, and then once you water them, they'll come standing back up. It's quite amazing. But it gives your sunflower seed or crop a lot more of a nuttier flavor. It's kind of a nice touch, and they look really cool. Like this would be like a really nice red, and then the top would be green. So that's something you guys can experiment with. We don't do that. We just, you know, grow them kind of how we've been growing them. But it's something I've tried, and I definitely, you know, could be a new way to cut into the market. Like sunflower is really popular, and nobody's doing it that way. Might be something for you guys that, you know, the farmers market people would really like. So something to keep in mind. So I'll just put these up on the racks and I'll sweep these sunflowers up so I'm not stepping on them, and then I'll show you guys the bottom watering of the radish and the broccoli. Talk to you guys then. Alright guys, so here's our broccoli. It's looking really good. I could actually probably harvest it today if I wanted. So what I'll do is I'll give it one last watering, just a little bit of water, and then I'll maybe move it into the walk-in cooler for tonight and let it sit in there. But just because I've got plans later on today, but we could harvest this, but I'll let it sit for a little while. So we bottom water our broccoli. You can see, you know, the roots are all nice and white and healthy. They're not brown or anything like that. It's still pretty moist actually. You can feel kind of by the roots. So I'll just give it just a little bit of water. You can see there's not a whole lot of water in there this time. Not as much as the last couple times. Just because I want them, you know, fairly dry when I put them in the walk-in cooler tonight. And then here's our radish. These could also be harvested right now if you wanted to. I don't know, they'd be 3 to 4 inches tall, I guess. They look really good, you know, other than this area because I'm not keeping up with the watering quick enough. So I'll give them a watering right now, just because if I put them in the walk-in cooler when they're just dry, you know, they'll fall over and they have no moisture. So I'll water them, and then what I'll do is put them in the walk-in cooler tonight, and maybe tomorrow I'll do our harvest just to show you guys that on a Sunday. We'll see what tomorrow brings, I guess. On that last one, once you water it, I find it's always hard to get the tray out, but see there's quite a bit of water in it just because they're so dry. So I'll have to let these ones sit for a little bit, and so it gets kind of that dry. It takes a little longer to soak up the water. So I'll let these sit, and then I'll show you guys our trays that we have germinating. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, so here is, not sure which crop this is actually. This is our radish. This would be the radish after 48 hours. So I'll just knock any of the seeds that are on the bottom of this tray. And you can see, like right there, there's a seed. I'll just knock that back on here for now. Put that like that. So it's starting to really come along. I'm sure tomorrow when we come back into the grow room, they'll be ready to be unstacked and put under the lights. It really doesn't take them long. It's truly amazing. Now I'll show you guys the broccoli after 48 hours. So same thing, just knock any of the seeds back in there. pretty good. Here's our peas. You can see there, they're pretty close to being ready. We'll give them another 24 hours. So they're looking really nice, really good. I'm not sure what these peas would be now. What would this be? 84 hours, I believe. Just because we're on that weird cycle where we planted in the evening and now I'm doing morning updates. Yeah, I believe it'd be 84 hours. And then the last one we have is our sunflower. So that's coming along really nicely too. Oops. As you can see, I'm happy with that. So I will put the bricks back on this, put it back on the bottom rack, and I'll turn the fans on in the dehumidifier, and that should be the end for this video. So you can see they're all back on the racks germinating down there. We got our peas up top there. Our sunflowers used to be up. Oops. Gotta fix this so I can show you guys better. There we go. Sunflowers used to be up there. We just moved them right here till there's no lights on them anymore. So that'll just, I could probably put like domes over top of them, but I'll just leave them like that just so those true leaves slow down. We don't have, just keep them at 2 leaves instead of 4. And then we got our broccoli, and then we got our radish right there. So everything's looking good. What I'll do now is I'll just turn on the fans and the dehumidifier, and then I'll come shut the camera off. So you guys like this kind of video, just make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up and the notification button, because we still got a couple more to do. So you guys are getting notified once they are published. And that should be it. So thanks for watching, guys. The videos are getting a little longer, but that's a good thing. It means our crops and everything are doing well. So turn the fans on and the dehumidifier, and then I'll shut this thing off. And maybe we'll see you guys this evening when I fire up our walk-in cooler and put some of the crops in there just to slow them down. So we'll talk to you guys later.